Hi, my name is Chelsea, and welcome to Collective Self, an intentional community where you are always welcome. I'm so happy to see you today. Today, I wanted to give you a message about just being mindful about the things that you consume, whether it's a television show, a podcast, or some other form of media. It's really important, especially if you're an empath or a light worker, to be mindful of, or just any conscious being really, to be mindful of the things that you consume. As we know, everything is energy, and so we want to be watching things that raise our vibration, allow us to identify even more with who we are. And I'm not saying watching low vibrational things can't do that. I'm just saying that over time, those things do get into the subconscious. They do get into the psyche, into the dreams, into the daily life of us. And if we're consistently making ourselves nervous or dysregulating our nervous system, then that can have a long-lasting effect on our ability to both manifest and to really just feel good on a day-to-day basis. But before we get into that, I want to give you the affirmation of the day, which is, I am conscious of what I consume. I am conscious of what I consume. So without further ado, let's get into it. I wanted to give this message and just give this I have a list that I want to give you. It's going to be in the description of shows and TV shows and some podcasts and stuff that I think are pretty high vibrational, that I don't feel like there's any negative messaging or anything too dysregulating or harmful in there. And the reason why I wanted to make a list of media that is like that is because what I've noticed is that a lot of the media that we're pushed to consume now is dysregulating for the nervous system. It's bloody, gory, or way too violent. It's depicting dysfunctional families. And it's also depicting sort of this like hopeless, post-apocalyptic, dystopian sort of vibe. And don't get me wrong, I love a dystopian show. But to me, there is a limit on how much we can consume of content that is basically despair porn without feeling like in despair. Like, there's only so much you can watch and only so much you can consume without that then becoming a part of your reality in one way or another. And especially if you're empathic, watching things that are causing pain to others is causing pain to yourself. So it's very important that we can watch TV shows that are going to be a little bit more soothing for our nervous system, that will either teach us something about ourselves or the world around us, or are just good for the good vibes, good for the spirit. And so I find that shows about nature tend to be a really good option. Children and family shows tend to be a great option for this, as well as shows particularly about like cooking, things like that. Those tend to be the types of shows that are not really going to be giving you too much violence, too much gore, but are going to be giving you some information, some positivity. You're going to probably have a finished outcome. I also enjoy children's programming, children's TV shows and movies. So for example, Disney Plus is a great one for me. I also watch, this is not a children's show, but it is like an adult children's show, if that makes sense, which is the iCarly reboot. This was really good for me. It gave me the sense of like, okay, there are light adult themes here that I can relate to, but there's nothing in the show that is pushing me to be drinking hard, partying hard, or is suggesting a lifestyle to me that is not in alignment with me. It's very much lighthearted, fun, quirky, goofy, silly. And I particularly like shows like that. You don't have to like shows like that, but the point of this message is that you should be mindful of the things that you're consuming. If you're watching a lot of horror movies or things with a lot of violence, like action movies, thrillers, things like that, things that are dysregulating, our nervous system needs to be regulated in order for us to respond calmly to certain situations, and especially for us to take that like higher seat, that higher awareness. It's kind of hard to connect with yourself when your awareness is on your body's response, your body's adrenaline, fight or flight. So consistently watching things that are not going to throw you out of whack is very important. Like you might notice after you listen to certain music or you watch certain things, your heart is beating faster. You're scared to go to sleep. You don't want to, do certain things. You're feeling a little bit more tense. You might be finding more ways to get annoyed with the people around you. Like those things matter because those are the things. Those small reactions turn into who you are. But all your reactions lead to who you are. Right? First, you make your habits, then your habits make you. And what you watch is a huge habit that will ultimately affect what's going into your brain, the stories that your brain is telling you. So I suggest, like I said, family-oriented things, children's shows, cartoons, things that are about like friend groups and chosen family tend to be really nice, wholesome, inspiring things. But I have a huge list down below. I found a network called Gaia, which is all spiritual teachings. It does a lot of the shows on there are simply somebody sitting there and talking to you, which I know it sounds boring, but we are trying to focus our awareness because we want to be at all times aware of ourselves as source. So to watch something at such a slow rate and have to just listen to the thread of her talking or him talking or them talking is really great for the focus. It's really good for strengthening that awareness. So I would say to try it out. I don't think that this is one size fits all, but I do think that it is important for us to be extremely mindful of how we are sort of shaping our mind on a daily basis based on the things that we consume. And in 3 videos, I will not be saying again. And that's on manifestation. If you like this video, I hope that you will leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. Check out the list in my description box and tell me which show that you're wanting to check out. And if there's any shows that you recently watched that you feel were high vibrational, that made you feel good, then I definitely invite you to leave it in the comment section below. You never know who could be looking for it. It might be the perfect show for somebody. So check it out. And until next.